This is Davor from Derokki, and in this video we're going to talk about RTL absolute positioning. RTL absolute positioning. There we go. We're going to jump right into Webflow. I'm going to show you how to align elements, absolute, static, fixed, either to the left or the right, depending on the direction of a website. So for English Arabic websites, you'll be able to flip around the alignment of positioned elements. And so let's go into Webflow, and I'll create a new green box at the top. And maybe we can just like replicate this one. So green box 4 maybe. So this box has 100% width, 7 rem height, and a background color of green. We're also going to make it relative. All right. Inside of the box, we will add a black box. Black box is going to be 3 rem maybe, like this. And I will add in a black background color. And this box will be absolute positioned, okay? Just like this. So right now, if a box is absolutely positioned like this, and we remove the direction, you will see that the box actually, without doing anything, will align to the start of the green box. The reason for that is if there's nothing set in the Webflow panel, then the element will just by default align like this. But if we go and add in direction RTL, you can see how it flips around. No but, it just flips around. And what you can do now is, you can of course say I want to align it to the left side. You do 0 and you do auto. And now, if you switch direction to RTL, you will see that the box stays on the same side. And that is because the values we have, where's the box? The values that we have right here are actually static properties. They actually apply to static properties. And so the static properties that we have are left and right. That's how they are called. And you can see it here. Those left and right properties are the ones that we see in Webflow. So we have left here and we have right here. And I will link those Mozilla documentations again in the description. You can see that they are basically those values. This is the left value and this is the right value. And so with normal websites that do not need right to left bidirectionality, this is fine. However, what if you want the black box to be able to flip around? You want to align to the end of the box and flip around. We can't use this then, right? So let me remove the body direction again. Set to LTR. And I will go to the box, and instead of using those properties right here, you're going to go down to custom properties. You're going to write Inset-Inline-Start auto Inset-Inline-End 0, sorry. Inset-Inline-End 0. And so now, what's this? Okay, sometimes there's this little bug. Inset-Inline-End 0. There we go. And so now the box will align to the end of its relative parent. But if we switch around the direction and set it to RTL, the alignment will flip around, which is fantastic. It's fantastic. So you can manipulate with this any way you want. You can set it to 3 rem, for example, like this. And you can still use this panel. You can use 1 rem here, and maybe, I don't know, you don't really need the bottom one, but because it's aligned to the top. But you can use those values, the top and the bottom values. But for the left and right, if you want them to flip around in RTL, you want to use Inset-Inline-Start and Inset-Inline-End. You want to use both together. So if I use only one of those, it's not going to work. So if I use only this one, Actually, it will work, but not always. Not always. And so here in this case it works, but on some instances it doesn't work. And so what I like to do is I just like to add in both of those. Okay. And let me actually see here. If I set this to 0 and if I remove this, yeah, it's the same. So use Inset-Inline-Start, which is this property here. And you can again check it out on the Mozilla documentation. And you want to use Inset-Inline-End to align elements. And so there's a few examples where this makes sense to do. For example, if you have like a slider, a Webflow slider. Actually, let me add it right in so you can see the use case. And we're going to talk about sliders in the future, but one thing about sliders is you have to align the elements. So for example, you have the left arrow right here, and you have the right arrow right here, and then, you know, let's say you want to flip it around, you kind of need the arrows to go to the other side. So what you would do is you would go in here, you would say Inset-Inline-Start is going to be auto. Inset-Inline-End is going to be 0. And for the left arrow, you're going to do it the other way around. You're going to say Inset-Inline-Start 0 and Inset-Inline-End auto. And so now if you flip around the website, let's see if this works. You can see how now the left arrow is on the right side and the right arrow is on the left side. So it's one part of flipping the slider around to make it work actually. Then we have to, of course, mirror the icons, and that's going to be the next lesson actually. But it's just one use case so you can see where it makes sense to actually change the alignment, the absolute alignment of elements. And so it's a slider example. Another thing you can also do, of course, is you don't need to just, it doesn't just apply to the absolute, you can also apply it to relative, you can apply it to, actually not to relative in this case, but you can apply this to relative and it will add some padding and margin, depends where you add it. But what's more interesting is definitely the fixed. So let's say you have like a 50 rem, 100 view height, fixed alignment to the top left. Let's see here. Let's make it 0. So you can do it like this, and you remove those, of course. So you have like a sidebar, for example. This could be the navbar menu opening up. And this way you can align it to either one or the other side depending on the website direction. And so that's what you're going to use. You're going to use Inset-Inline-Start and Inset-Inline-End for building bidirectional positioning. You can do it for fixed, you can also do it for sticky or absolute, any way you like. And then in the next lesson, we're going to talk about how to actually mirror elements or mirror icons. So the left looking arrow actually flips to the right based on the website direction. So yeah, it's going to be the next lesson. I'll see you there.